Good day, learners. You are welcome to Kaduna State e-learning programs on TV and radio. My name is Tijani Muhammad Aliyu. I'm your marketing teacher. Today's topic is product life cycle, otherwise known as PLC. It is a continuation of the last topic that we treated in the last lesson, which is product. Let me take you back a little to define what product is. We said product is anything that can be offered to the market for attention, acquisition, sales, use, and consumption. And we give examples as such as that device you are watching me through, or that device you are listening to from your radio set or your TV are all products. Your teacher in your school is a product of the place where he or she works, and you equally you are a product of your parents. And we went on to say that products are divided into two major groups, which is called consumer and industrial goods. We went on to discuss more on new products, which is, we said, anything that you have not used before in the market is what is called new product. The news that you've not had is a new news. A movie that you've not had before, you've not watched before, is a new movie. This one will bring us down to what we call the PLC, which is product life cycle. Now, what is product life cycle? Product life cycle simply means the stage in which a product is being developed from the introductory stage down to the growth, to the maturity, saturation, and before it finally dies, which is called the decline. Now, let's have a little definition on what product life cycle is. This refers to the stages a new product goes through from the beginning to the end. That is, a new product is introduced to customers or consumers, it grows and matures, and when it loses appeal, it declines and eventually is taken off the market. Let's expatiate a little on what we're trying to say. Now, for you to develop a new product, it goes through different stages. And we did say in our last lesson too that there are 8 stages involved in new product development. Now, number 1 stage, which is the new product idea, that's idea generation. We said number 2, which is idea screening. Number 3, we said product testing and development. Number 4, we said market testing or product testing, as the case may be. Then number 5, there's business analysis. Number 6, there's test marketing. Then we went on to say, which is the last one, is you produce in large quantity, which is commercialization. Now, after these processes have been gone through, the product is now introduced into the markets. Let's take a look at the diagram we have on the board. Now, if you look at the diagram very well, it's a very, very sensational, very inviting diagram for you to see. If you look at beneath the line, you see what's called development there. At the other side, which is sales, which is a volume. Now, from it, you develop. That is why the dot is there. You look at it from the dot. It is dotted up to the developmental stage, which means all the 8 stages of product has been well tested. Now, you look at it from the drop error and the go error area, whereby the go error is where you allow a product that is highly profitable to just go like that, while the drop error, you have a poor product coming into play. How do I mean? This is what culminated and moved into what is called introduction. Now, the introduction part of it, which is the first stage in product life cycle. Now, the product life cycle consists of 5 stages, plus or minus, let's say 4 to 5 stages, because the saturation and the decline, the saturation and the maturity go pari passu, which means they go hand in hand. Now, let's take a look at the introduction. This is the first stage in product life cycle. This is where products are being introduced into the market for the very first time. The acceptability of this product is what the company wants to look at. Does it have to go back to the drawing board again and following back to the 8 stages which it has done before? Or can it go, is the product acceptable to the market? It's backed up by launching and presentation, that is a period of low sales growth, pricing strategies used by firms. Were you going to skim the price, or you are going to penetrate the price? If you're going to skim the price, which means you're going to go into the market with high price. If you're going to penetrate the market, you're going to go into the market with low price. That depends on executive decision of the company or firm or organization, as the case may be. Now, for the pricing strategies that will always be used, you take cognizance of your competitors' price in the market. Otherwise, you might get things mumbled up. Competitors in the market are always very significant when you're introducing new products into the market. You have to be very conscious of it as a first timer in the market. Now, number two, which is the growth rate. This is where companies or organizations are expected to have exponential growth and robust earnings when it comes to new product development and the introduction of new product into the market. Now, at this stage, the product has grown to a certain level, which means it has met consumers' taste and demand. And competitors are always at the edge to edge you out or to see where you have a problem and so they can equally fall in. That is, they're taking advantage of your disadvantage, which is called niche marketing. Number three, which is maturity and the saturation stage. Now, at this point in time, which the growth stage has given birth to the maturity and saturation stage. That is, at the growth stage, which comes in before the maturity, you retain your earnings as companies or organizations. You retain your earnings over time. Those earnings that you retained, you plow them back when you fall back. Get it straight. You plow your retained earnings, that's the excess of your money that you have. You plow them back into the business while you are falling off. Now, at this stage, which is maturity and saturation, at this stage, competitors will always come because you've gained a larger portion of the market. You've gained a proportionate portion of the market. That proportionate portion of the market is what the competitor wants to come over and take. We want to edge you out, as the case may be. So you have to be very buckled up and make sure that you do a lot of promotional activities, advertisement, public relations, publicity, and the rest of them. Now, for this maturity and saturation once more, it is different by potential buyers. In this period, market is saturated and some firms will be forced out. Profit will decline as a result of promotional costs or advertisement costs. Businesses are on the balance. You are entering a market. Definitely, you are expecting that you're having a competitor. For you to have a competitor, you have to make sure you have a plan B. Because there is no product in the market that can stand a test of time. Oftentimes, you see companies or organizations come out with new strategies by telling you these are improved products, or these are more improved product than the other one that has been. That improved product you are talking about is a new product that you have not used over time. Just like I told you in the last lesson, anything that you have not used before is new. Anything, irrespective of it, it's new. The last one, which is a decline, otherwise known as a death stage. The death stage, which is a sales where profit comes very low. The whole money in the company is being plowed back into the new product again for it to come back or rejuvenate it back to life. That at this particular point in time, companies or executive members or boards of the company go back to their drawing board and see how they can bring back that product into the market. That's what's meant by decline, which means the total fall of that product in the market is no longer acceptable. Why? Because competitors' products have over time gone into promotional tool that has given the other competitor an edge over the other one, thereby taking advantage of disadvantage that you have. Now let's take a look at the other topic, which is why new products fail. Why new products fail? A new product fails for certain reasons. Number one, we have overpricing, which is new product fails when they are overpriced by the management. Say, for instance, we said price skimming. When you're using your strategies, your pricing strategy in the market, are you going to penetrate the market with scheme? Are you going to skim the market, or you're going to penetrate the market? Either you are going to lower your price and get your customer base, or you are going to increase your price and get your customer base and much later reduce the price again. Number two, which is poor timing of introduction. This simply means the time you are introducing this product into the market, is the company ready to back it up with promotional activities? Do you have sufficient product to give out as free gifts, free samples to the market just in case you have a promotional outfit going on? Or you are just into the market because you feel you have an outlay that you have to push and you're not properly ready? If you are not ready, don't push your product into the market. Number three, which is product deficiency. Is the product you're introducing to the market, is it of high quality? Does it meet the standard of ISO, which is the International Standard Organization? Does it meet the weight and measurement? Does it meet NAFDAC satisfactory standards? Is it certified? And now, when you come back again to it, is the product truly a world-class product, or is just there to buy time and give an edge to the company or your competitor, which you are not truly prepared for? Product deficiency is very, very important, and you have to take into account of it. Now, let's take a look at it. Poor products with poor quality and performance are those with no significant advantage over already competing items in the market. This will take us to number 4, which is higher cost than anticipated. Higher cost than anticipated. Now, this product failure occurs when costs involved are higher, which will result in higher prices and leads to lower sales volume than anticipated. Now, what do we mean here? The failure of new products, for instance, is overpricing. The burden of firms trying to satisfy customers or consumers immediately without going into the drawing board, taking into consideration what the research and development, that's the R&D department, have brought out in the case of trying to measure up for standardization. Which is technical and production problem. This occurs when companies could not produce sufficient quantities to meet demand, thus allowing competitors to gain advantage to capture unanticipated area of the market. Do you have sufficient money to plow into the market before you go into it, or you just went to the market for the fun of it? For you to produce products, which means you must have a capital base. What is the capital base for you to produce detergent, for instance? because you know that detergent is a high quality product that is highly demanded in the hospital, in the houses, and anywhere we have it. Are you ready for it? Do you have that capital base for you to plow? Do you have the facility for you to source for loan, either from friends, either grants from government? Do you have the facility for you to get loan from banks, especially Bank of Industry, or if you're in a cottage industry, for instance, Bank of Agriculture? Do you have that capacity? Do you have the facility to which can serve as a collateral for you to get loan? Otherwise, if you take little amount of money, which is not too significant, into the market, you might rush back. As you rush in, you might equally rush back because you don't have the capital base to face your competitors. Number 6, which is competitive strength and reaction. This occurs when the rate of competitive activities are very high and ease of copying and innovation soon overcrowd the market. Now let's take a look at phones, for instance, application phones. The attributes or features of a phone differ from the other one. Let's take a look at computers, for instance. The attributes or features of Hewlett-Packard, otherwise known as HP, or Haier, or Huawei, or Toshiba, whatever, has different attributes. Now, it now depends on the buyer. Which attribute do you actually want in your phone? If you talk about the phone, for instance, you might say you have a phone that is, you wanted a camera-based phone, a phone that you have a fingerprint on it. Some even say they want a voice phone. You see, manufacturers are very sensitive to consumers or customers' plight. They produce whatever you want. Say, for instance, if you use a cord before to charge your phone, it's only a one-way thing. But now in the market, there's a cord or a recharger or charger that you can use either way. You flip it the other side or this side, and it penetrates the charging port, irrespective. There's no need for you to start turning all around, thereby damaging your charging port. You see, that particular feature has been taken care of. That particular attribute of doing the mistake has been taken care of, which has been always damaging your charging port. The manufacturer have taken cognizance to that, and they went to the research and development department, and they've corrected that. Either way, you can use it. Now, once more, we talked about product life cycle. In summary, which we referred at the stages new product goes through from the beginning to the end. That is, we have the introduction, the growth, the maturity, saturation, and decline. Now, for the purpose of your exam, let's get it straight. You might be asked to draw a product life cycle, otherwise known as the PLC. You can start from the word introduction, the growth, the saturation, and then decline. Your mark is intact. Either way. It could be introduction, growth, maturity, saturation, or decline. All the same thing. There's no significant difference because saturation and maturity go hand in hand, just like I've earlier said. They go hand in hand. There's no way you can segregate or differentiate or separate both factors. Both factors are factored in together because they go hand in hand. Maturity, then you now saturate it. Now, which of course you said the decline, which is a death. Now, in a way of summary, for instance, we have, if a product dies today, for you to go back and bring that product into life, you go back to the drawing board, reintroduce that product into the market. That product you're bringing into the market now is a new product. That's what we call new product development, which means it has to follow the same 8 stages of product idea, product screening, testing and development, test marketing, market strategization, then you have commercialization. You have to go back together. You say it's a cyclical thing. You have to follow the same process. That's the most of the time you see, they say this a product is newly improved or is an improved product. My dear learners at home, I'm sure with this you understand what product life cycle is all about, which we said you introduce a product, it grows, it saturates, then it finally dies. Now for your assignments, my dear learners at home, question 1 goes like this: define product life cycle. Number 2, with the aid of diagram, briefly explain the different stages of product life cycle. Number 3, state 4 reasons why new product fails. I take it once more. Number 1, define product life cycle. Number 2, with the aid of a diagram, briefly explain the different stages of product life cycle. Number 3, state 4 reasons why new product fails. For any question or any ambiguity or any problem that you have regarding this topic that has been treated, you can call me on my number showing on your screen, 080-3637-3342. I repeat, 080-3637-3342. I remain your marketing teacher, Tijani Muhammad Aliyu. Stay home, stay safe, keep learning.